Hey everyone, Rafael here with the Cup car and the fixed setup at Texas. This will be the first week with the updated 2017 Aero package, and it also includes suspension upgrades, and, latest and greatest for the car. Again, big arc into turn 3, on the throttle aggressively right there. This setup is pretty decent, although it's mostly on the tight side. But we can go into turn 1 right here, much faster than the V car, doing 202 into turn 1, a little bit of brake, bring it down to the apron, hook the bottom here as much as possible, aggressively on the throttle, down the backstretch, getting up to 198, again maybe just a little bit of brake right there, and then as soon as you can get on the gas, get on it, and very, very stable. The car is on the snug side. That'll be a 28.1 hot lap. Starting lap 10, we've fallen off about 0.7 of a second. Again, the car is still on the tight side. Into the corner here, maybe just a little bit of brake to set the nose. And again, right here, I'm going to rewind. Very important in turn 2 to be as close to the white line as possible. There seems to be a bit of a, I don't want to say grip strip, but this right here, on the bottom of turn 2, right next to that white line, seems to have quite a bit of grip. And again, that'll change in the race when you have the dynamic track surface. You'll be able to run a little bit higher and whatnot, but for a hot lap, you want to be as close to the bottom as possible and hook that bottom right there in turn 2. You come off the corner into turn 3. Again, you want to be pretty close to the bottom here as well, but not as important as in turn 2. Right there, the car is still very stable. That'll complete lap 10 at a 28.8. Now starting lap 20, the car is still a little bit on the tight side, but it's getting a little bit better. It's getting a little bit more balanced as the right rear starts wearing off. Into turn 1 here, just a little bit of brake. And then right there, I got on the throttle way too soon. See, I should have waited to coast maybe a few more feet before I got on it, but I got on it too soon. And right there, even if I was already pretty low, but it was still just carrying too much speed for that point in the corner and the wear on the right front tire. So as soon as the car starts going up, I get off the throttle, and the corner flattens out quite a bit, so if you miss it like I did right here, you have to get off the throttle quite a bit to recover. And right there, I get back on the gas as soon as I can. Another thing that happens here off of turn 2, since the corner just flattens out pretty abruptly, you'll get pushed loose right there. The corner, the straightaway starts and flattens out, and you have wheel into it, and the rear end kind of snaps over, so you have to watch out for that. And heading into turn 3, using a little bit more brake than on the hot lap, but it's still only, if we go back here, it's still maybe, that's maybe about 10%. So just to set the nose, and then, initially about 60 or 70% throttle, and then all the way on it, and that'll complete lap 20. Come to start lap 30. At this point, the setup has started to neutralize a little bit. It's not as tight as it was before as the right rear starts heating up. And as you can see right there, I'm still coasting quite a bit and into the corner. I'm off the gas right here around the end of the dashes right there. A little bit of brake, maybe like 10% brake, and I'm coasting all the way until past these rubber scuff marks on the wall, a little bit past the Fort Worth sign. Then on the throttle, around 70 or 80%. Right there, getting a little bit loose on exit as that corner flattens out pretty aggressively. And again, go into turn 3, easy corner to overdrive. On the throttle, still a little bit tight right there on exit, and I complete lap 30. Starting lap 40 now, the car has now gone over to a little bit of a loose side. especially on corner exit. The entry's still kind of snug. The center is not too bad, but I would still say it's on the tight side. But the exit's starting to, as you can see right there, I'm having to work the wheel a little more as the right rear starting to lose more and more grip. Get the car slowed down here in turn 3. And again, that right rear, you know, it's not too bad right now off right there in lap 40, but as you will see in lap 50, it'll be a handful by the end of the run. Now starting lap 50, running at 30.8. I mean, remember we started at 28.1, so that's, you know, 2.7 seconds of fall off or so. Still coasting quite a long way, keeping it as low as possible in turn 2. Playing with the wheel a little bit on corner exit, not too bad right there. During turn 3, again, very easy corner to overdrive. I'm you know, off the throttle right here, right at the end of the dash bar. It's kind of the same way as in turn 1. And this corner, you know, you want to drive in really deep, or you think you want to drive in really deep, but if you go in much deeper than that, you'll just end up washing up in the center of the corner. So right there, using about 15 to 20% brake, getting down to that white line as much as possible. Initial throttle, pretty aggressively up to about 60% throttle. You don't want to go more than that because, you know, the right rear will just step out and you end up spinning out or just losing a bunch of time as you'll lose control of the car. So right there, initial throttle, and then slowly get back on it. And right here, I was actually a little bit too aggressive getting back full throttle. And the rear end unloads and I have to correct it. And when I correct it, I actually get off the throttle right there. And, you know, previous videos I've mentioned, you know, if you have to get off the throttle to save the car if it's too out of control. And right there, you know, my judgment was that I needed to get off the gas to save it, because if I would have stayed in the gas, even if I would have saved it, it would have probably been even slower because the right rear tire would have smoked and spun, and that would have been probably slower than just backing off the throttle and getting that traction and going. And of course, worst case scenario would have just been spinning out towards the grass or overcorrecting into the wall. So getting off the gas a little bit helps you save that car right there. And then, you know, once I'm pointing right where I'm going to go, which is, you know, straight at this point because I'm up here by the wall, and then I go right back wide open, correct it a little bit more right there for the dog leg, but that'll complete lap 50 at a 30.8, and that's our run.